I am here to remind you of our meeting. This is a very important meeting because it has to do with your school selection. I know some of your teachers have already spoken about it, but I will be here tomorrow morning to officially update you and your parents or guardians on the current updates, guidelines, and the do's and don'ts of your school selection from the Ministry of Education, Ghana Education Service, and TVET Service. This is not to scare you, but failure to attend this meeting with your parents or guardians, for whatever reason, may cause a great disservice to your future. Get home safely.
Thank you.
Madam. Charlie, Frimpong, how our selection is still the same.
I am glad your parents and guardians are here for this school selection exercise. Thank you for being on time. In my hand is our 2022 register from the Ministry of Education, Ghana Education Service, and TVET Service. As your head, it is my responsibility for the next few minutes to make you all understand the various steps in this selection. The Ministry of Education, Ghana Education Service, and TVET Service have made the following updates to the 2021 school selection guidelines. One, introduction of cluster-based schools. 2, absorption of 212 technical institutes. 3, inclusion of 5 newly constructed STEM schools. And 4,
opportunity to select low enrollment schools as boarding in the sixth choice.
The public second cycle institutions comprise of senior high schools, senior high technical schools, and technical and vocational institutions. These schools are categorized into 4 groups, namely, Category A schools are known as the overly subscribed schools. The Category B schools are the averagely subscribed schools. The Category C schools are the under-subscribed schools. The Category D schools are all catchment area day schools. Before we continue, let me quickly touch on the catchment area day schools. These are senior high schools or senior high technical schools or technical and vocational institutions located within 10 miles or 16-kilometer radius of the junior high schools. It must be purely a day senior high technical school. It could be one or more. And also, it could be located within different districts or regions. Do we all understand?
Yes.
So, there are a total of 86 schools under Category A. 48 are senior high schools, 5 are senior high technical schools, and the remaining 33 are technical and vocational institutions. Under Category B, there are a total of 264 schools, 178 senior high schools, 50 senior high technical schools, and 36 technical and vocational institutions. Under Category C, there are 561 schools, 280 senior high schools, 138 senior high technical schools, and 143 technical and vocational institutions.
In total, we have 506 senior high schools,
193 senior high technical schools, and 212 technical and vocational institutions. These all sum up to the 911 public second cycle institutions in the country. Going through the appendices of the Ministry of Education, Ghana Education Service, and TVET Service, we will see that it contains detailed technical and vocational education and training programs, the technical programs in the secondary technical institutions, special boarding schools for the sixth choice, list of special education needs schools, and cluster-based schools. In a nutshell, this 2022 Ministry of Education, Ghana Education Service TVET Register has a list of all the public second cycle institutions in every corner of Ghana. Yes, Maunyo.
Is the placement still based on 6 subjects?
Yes, I will explain that to you in a few seconds. 6 subjects are used for selection and placement. 4 core plus 2 of the best electives. The core subjects are English, mathematics, integrated science, and social studies. The electives are ICT, Ghanaian language, French, BDT, and RME. Hafiz and Nilai, please join me here for a short demonstration. Please pay attention for this illustration. This is just an example. I am not prophesying any result. Assuming Hafiz scored aggregate 9, that is 1 in English, 2 in mathematics, 3 in integrated science, 1 in social studies, 1 in BDT, 1 in RME, 1 in ICT, 1 in French, and 2 in Ghanaian language. And Nilaye scored aggregate 6, that is 1 in English, 1 in mathematics, 1 in integrated science, 1 in social studies, 1 in ICT, 1 in French, 2 in BDT, 2 in RME, and 3 in Ghanaian language. Hafiz and Nilai had 6 ones. But Hafiz had majority of his ones in his electives. Nilai had majority in his score. So, the selection and placement will be favorable to Nilai. When the grades of each is being tabulated, Hafiz's score will be 7 plus 2 electives, which equals an aggregate of 9. Nilai will have his score being 4 plus 2 electives, which equals an aggregate of 6. They both had 6 ones. But per the guidelines for the selection and placement, Hafiz had aggregate 9 and Nilai had aggregate 6. In cases students get the same aggregate, their raw score, that is examination percentage, are put into consideration. Is that clear? Yes, sir. Nilai and Hafiz, you may take your seat. Shall we clap for them as they take their seat? Although there is a badge written each year, there are 4 categories for selection and placement each year. Category 1, 2022 BEC candidates. Category 2, 2022 BEC private candidates. Category 3, foreign candidates. Category 4, re-entry candidates. These are the categories of candidates competing for a place in the 911 public second cycle institutions in Ghana. It is therefore crucial for each one of you to follow the laid down steps. Ms. Jennifer, can you share it? This is the selection form, which all of you will be filling in a few days' time. That is why I am carefully explaining the Ministry of Education, Ghana Education Service, and TVET Service school selection guidelines to you and your parents.
Candidates must choose 6 schools in all, the first to their 6 choices. Candidates must select programs and accommodation for each selected school. Candidates must choose a compulsory day as 6th choice from the catchment area school or choose boarding school from the list of schools in Appendix 3. Candidates must indicate yes or no to accept or decline to opt for a cluster. Candidates must not indicate any cluster for the 6th choice. Candidates who wish to offer purely TVET programs must select all 6 TVET schools from category A, B, and C as day or boarding. Candidates cannot choose more than 1 school from category A. Candidates cannot select more than 2 schools from category B. Candidates may select 5 choices from category C and 1 from category D, day or Appendix 3. Special boarding.
Before we continue, let me quickly touch on the cluster-based schools being introduced. Cluster-based schools are a group of schools that belong to the same category, which candidates may comfortably accept as an alternative should they miss on their initial choices.
An example of a category A cluster can be the following: Abri Girls Senior High School, Achimota Senior High School, St. Mary's Senior High School, Tema Senior High School, Accra Girls Senior High School, St. Peter's Senior High School, Presby Boys Senior High School, and St. Thomas Aquinas.
If Frimpong selects Adisadel as his first choice with an option for a cluster and he is displaced, Frimpong may have the opportunity of being placed in any of the schools within the cluster. This differs based on the category of schools selected. If you opt for a cluster after selecting a category A or B, your cluster selection will be based on category A or B respectively, not the other way around. Do we understand? Yes, sir. Yes, Naduli.
Sir, please, do you mean that if I select a category B school, I will not be considered for a category A cluster when I am displaced from my initially selected category B school?
Exactly the point. Thank you, Naduli. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, madam.
Sir, do you mean to say that my son will be considered for other similar category A schools if he doesn't get Presbyterian Boys?
If your son opted for a cluster during his selection, yes. If not, no.
So, per the selection criteria, 6 schools must be selected with programs and accommodation for each selected school. A compulsory day must be selected from the catchment area school or boarding school from the list of schools in Appendix 3 as the 6th choice. And those who wish to offer purely TVET programs must select all 6 TVET schools from category A, B, and C as day or boarding. Remember, you cannot choose more than 1 school from category A and cannot select more than 2 schools from category B, but you may select 5 choices from category C and 1 from category D, or special boarding from Appendix 3.
Frimpong, can you be on your feet? Ms. Jennifer, can you please? So I want you to share with us the schools you have in mind.
Sir, number 1, Prempeh College. Number 2, Infant Pim. Number 3, Presby Boys, Legon. Number 4, Opokuwari. Number 5, Tema Senior High School. Number 6, Winneba. Or number 1, Winneba. Number 2, Tema Senior High School. Number 3, Opokuwari. Number 4, Presbyterian Boys Legon. Number 5, Infant Pim. Number 6, Prempeh College.
Thank you. Take your seat. Yes, Nana Kojo, can you also share with us the schools you have in mind?
Say, number 1, Prempeh College. Number 2, Winneba Senior High. Number 3, Labone Senior High. Number 4, Wesley Grammar. Number 5, Ebenezer Senior High. Number 6, Presbyterian Senior High, Osu.
Who can tell me the difference between Frimpong's selection and that of Nana Kojo? Yes, Rama.
Sir, please. Both of Frimpong's choices are examples of a wrong choice selection, while that of Nana Kojo is an example of a correct choice selection. This is because the selection criteria states carefully that a candidate cannot select more than one Category A school. Yet, Frimpong has more than 4 Category A schools. Nana Kojo, on the other hand, has 1 Category A school, 2 Category B schools, 2 Category C schools, and 1 Category D school.
Thank you, Rama. She deserves a good round of applause. Do we all understand?
Yes, sir.
Let's continue.
The mode of selection of the schools differ in terms of categories of candidates. School candidates select their schools and forward them to their district education officers through their JHS heads. Private candidates must select their school choices online via www.waecinternetsolution.org. Foreign students must purchase foreign students application form online, fill and submit to the CSSPS/FreeSHS/TVET Secretariat. When the portal is ready, date for the selection would be announced for foreign students.
The placement is strictly by merit.
As a matter of fact, there is a 30% public JHS equity in Category A schools for public JHS candidates.
Yes, Fatima.
Sir, our schools and program option link, please.
Yes, your school and program options are linked. Yes, Etonam.
Sir, in the event of a tie, what is considered?
In the event of a tie, the raw scores of the candidates are used to break the tie, as I explained when I used Nilaye and Hafiz as an example. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Also, candidates who are not placed after the automatic placement can use the self-placement model to place themselves in a list of schools with vacancies.
To use the self-placement model, candidates must visit the CSSPS portal via www.csSPS.gov.gh, enter their details, thus index numbers and PIN codes, and then choose from the available schools with vacancies. Then candidates print their placement form after submission.
Have we understood the steps?
Yes, sir.
Do we have any question?
No, sir.
Parents, thank you for investing into the future of your wards. This is the way forward. However, please, before you take your leave, Miss Jennifer, can you help me share this? Give it to them.
Follow the right procedure in selecting the schools in each category. A combination of technical institutes and senior high schools or senior high technical schools will require a catchment area day selection. Candidates must ensure that school codes tally with the school selected. Assess your academic performance before making a choice. Use Appendix 1 as a guide to select a preferred TVET program. Never choose schools outside your catchment area. You may opt for a cluster in first to fifth choice selection.
Your selection is correct. Let me endorse and make a photocopy for you.
If you have already made your choices without these updates, you must quickly reconsider.